Hey guys, it's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing monthly horoscope readings, and this is for Libra for November 2019. So that can apply to Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you just felt called to click on this video, there's probably some messages here for you, but keep in mind that this is a general reading, so not all of the information is going to apply to everybody. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. Just take what resonates and leave the rest here. We're going to do the regular monthly spread from current self to advice and encouragement, and then we also are going to pull some love romance angel cards for relationships and everything at the end. A little bit different this month, but I felt like doing that. So hope you guys are doing well, and happy Thanksgiving to all the American viewers out there. I'm up in Canada. We already had our Thanksgiving in October. It's probably weird for you guys, but October is Thanksgiving month to me in my head, but November is for you guys, so some of you anyway. Okay, so Libra. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so Libra, your current self-energy is coming up as the Justice card. What a perfect card for you guys. The theme of the month is the Eight of Swords. The key goal for November is the Four of Wands. It's beautiful. And the obstacle to overcome you have is the Four of Pentacles, okay? The major accomplishment is the Knight of Pentacles. That's funny, he came up in the pre-shuffle, so you guys are doing well there. And the thing to avoid this month is going to be the Two of Pentacles. What to embrace? Five of Pentacles. Where to find support? You've got the Ace of Swords. And last but not least, the advice and encouragement, you have Knight of Swords. Okay. So right off the bat, Libra, you guys have a fair amount of Pentacles energy, so something to do with finances or something going on physically. So we'll see. And then you've got a fair amount of Swords as well. So the mind and the physical aspects, yes, we'll get into that. So Libra, your current energy is coming up as the Justice card. I think that this is the perfect card for Libra. Is it the Libra card? I can't remember. You guys will know. Somebody out there will know, or I'll look it up after. But Justice, it just screams Libra to me because of those scales, like the scales of justice, the scales of Libra, bringing balance to everything, being impartial, using discernment to make choices. Now, it's interesting that the first two cards that you have are both blindfolded. So this really tells me that in the month of November, it's going to be important for you guys to remain impartial, to use your discernment and to trust your intuition, because there does seem to be some stuff that's going to be, some messages that are coming through, some information you're going to be getting at some point, but it won't really be something that you would normally think of. It's going to come in the form of thoughts, or it's going to come in the form of somebody telling you something, but it's not something that you would have necessarily thought of before. It may be something that you're afraid of, or you may, just shut it down right away. But this is asking you to, be a little bit more open to it instead of seeing it for what it looks like. Try to feel it out, I guess, even though you have no cups cards here. But I'm really seeing that it's about not using your physical eyes, more using your third eye, essentially. So yes, that's still using your mind, but you want to use your inner vision, your inner eye, your ability to tap into your intuition. Because the theme of the month is this Eight of Swords energy, which is very limiting. It's kind of feeling trapped, and it's being trapped by your own ways of thinking. So you may not even realize that you're doing it, but you're limiting yourself in some way. Like, is there a situation where you're saying you just can't do it, or there's no other way, or you feel like your back is up against a wall, or you feel like you only have one course of action? Well, then you may want to look at why you believe that in the first place, because it may be true, it may not be true. And there's a lot of different kinds of truth out there. There's subjective truth, objective truth. We've all got our own. So, you know what I mean? This is going to be something that you guys have to look at from that inner perspective rather than going over it again and again and again in your mind, because that's clearly not working. But you're being given the opportunity here for some new information coming in. So, be open to messages, and whatever form they come in, just be open to them. You know, if they can come from other people, you can hear messages in songs, see repeating themes in the shows that you're watching, or open a book to a certain page and read the first passage that your eye falls on, or you can, you know, hear a little voice in your head telling you to do something or guiding you away from something. So really just listen to that, because it's that's what's going to help steer you right in you know, in the direction that you really want to be going. But it's your mind that is kind of limiting your direction. It's the one that's kind of slowing you down, the mind being the one that's like, no, you can't do that. That's not possible. There's no way. There's not enough money, etc., etc. So keep that in mind. Pun intended. Okay, so key goal this month, you've got the Four of Wands. So this is really about building some sort of stability. You've got, you know, the Four of Wands and then the Four of Pentacles right next to it. So there needs to be some stability here within relationships as well as within your financial in your physical life. So when it comes to money, when it comes to the way that you have your day set up, there needs to be balance. And that really goes together with other people, especially if you've got, you know, a spouse or a family. You do have to kind of work together to coordinate how to keep things balanced. You know, it is about working on your own balance as well, but you guys tend to be fairly good at seeing the middle ground or taking the middle ground. So in this case, it's really about helping others to do the same thing and to build these pillars up so that it can support the roof, basically. Like, you know, you can have two pillars, it's not going to do much. Three, it's going to be okay, but four is really the most stable. Three, or so four, a four is the strongest number. So that's where you guys want to be sort of focusing your energy. That's the goal this month. It's really to bring balance and stability into your relationships, into what you want to create or what you've already created. So helping to balance that out, because I'm really seeing a theme of balance for you guys. Of course, that's what you specialize in. Now, here's the thing, because each sign has things that they're gifted in, there's also shadow aspects to that gift, you know? So like for Virgos, you guys are very good at being diplomatic, which is that Justice card. You guys are good at, you know, taking the middle ground, being unbiased, weighing the scales of justice equally so that everything is balanced and everybody's happy. But sometimes there can be, if you're in the shadow aspect of your gift, then it's really more about letting other people be happy at your own expense, and you can't make decisions, and you don't necessarily think for yourself or create balance in your own life, and then, you know, that's where you start to see some issues. So make sure that you are sort of putting your own balance first and then balancing out everybody else. So the obstacle you guys have for November is the Four of Pentacles, so finances. So this is really looking like, especially with the Five of Pentacles right underneath it, this could be you guys having some financial issues right now. You may not have enough money, or there could be some need to dip into your savings if you have them. If you don't, then this is telling you to save. But the obstacle here, you know, so in that respect, the obstacle could be that it's difficult for you to save right now because you just don't have a lot coming in, or it's not steady, or it's not really balanced. Again, stability being the theme and the key goal for the month. But the obstacle could also just be not having enough at all. So not even that you're just trying to save, but just not having enough to survive. So that Four of Pentacles, it could go either way, but it would be beneficial to kind of try to work out a way to budget, to hold on to what you have when it comes in instead of just kind of filtering it, like filtering your money. It comes in, it goes through you, and then it goes out again. So instead, try to really make it stable, because that's going to help you to create this stable family environment and stable environment for yourself, so that you feel like you have potential and you can move forward with whatever it is that you want to create, whatever it is that you want to do. Again, bringing balance, stability to it. So the major accomplishment is the Knight of Pentacles, and this came up as I was pre-shuffling as well. It fell out of the deck and I put it back in. So for you guys, Libra, this is a big message, the Knight of Pentacles, to embody this energy. This could be physical gifts or physical abundance coming to you. It could be messages or financial opportunities that are coming to you, because knights are often seen as messengers. Now, he's facing towards the past, but he's looking towards the future. So this is a being aware of your habits in the past when it relates to finances or physical matters, and but also keeping an eye on the future again. So like saving, that's for the future. It's not always about right now. It's about what it's going to be like going forward. That's how you create long-standing stability, and that's how you kind of free yourself from the restrictions that you place on your own on your own on your own head. But the Knight of Pentacles, he's also fully clad in armor, so protect yourself. And I see that with the Four of Pentacles as well. He's kind of holding everything close to him. He's being protective. So this being the major accomplishment and the obstacle, because oftentimes those two are interchangeable, or they at least go together, is that it's going to be important to protect what you hold valuable in your life and invest in what you would like to see more of. Take some action steps, and don't be afraid to plan. If you're feeling limited and if you're feeling really stressed out, or you're trapped in this cycle of mental depletion and lack, that kind of thing, then it can be really good with the Knight of Pentacles here to write things down, plan it out, set a budget, make a goal list of things, short-term goals and long-term goals, small achievable goals, and then how those fit into your larger overall goals. So I know you guys are an air sign. You tend to be very up in your head. You're very mental, not so much with the physical, but that doesn't mean that you're not. We all have all aspects within us. It just means that it doesn't naturally come to you as easily as it would to like an earth sign. So for you guys, it's going to be beneficial to write things down, make it physical, you know what I mean? Or take your money out of the bank and hold it in your hands. That way you can, it's physical, right? It's not just a pie in the sky number that doesn't mean anything to you. It's easier to spend, or whatever works for you. You know, sometimes that works, sometimes it's the other way around. It really depends on the person, because I know people who they have cash and they spend it like it's nothing, but when they see it in their account, they don't want to spend it. And then other people who are the complete opposite, where they see it in their account and it's just imaginary. It doesn't hold any value to them, so they spend it like it's nothing. But as soon as they have money in their hands, they're like, "Ooh, I don't want to, lose it because it's physical." So, look at what your spending habits are, or what you are investing in, or how you work with your own stability in your life on all levels, not just financial, because it's really going to be about bringing balance here. You've got the Two of Pentacles again. This is finances, multitasking, trying to balance your checkbook, essentially. Again, budgeting is going to be huge for you guys November. So you really want to avoid this Five of Pentacles, which is not having enough. So really make it physical. Find out a way that works for you and get out of your head about it, because it may seem like there's no solution. It may seem like there's just no way that you're going to pull yourself out of this, but you will. You really just have to make it clear, set the intention of what you'd like to accomplish, that you want to find balance. You want to use your intuition to help guide you, because that will never steer you wrong. It will always provide opportunities and enlightenment and expansion and evolution. So trust your intuition, and then make your goals physical and protect what you want to protect, and create stability for the future going forward. So again, balance, stability. Those two things really go together. And that is, oh, that's what to avoid. Or I guess just what to avoid imbalance. That's how I'm going to spin it, because it's my reading and I do what I want. So the two, well, it's your reading actually, but the Two of Pentacles being in the what to avoid position is really just about taking on too much. That's how I see it. It's like if you're trying to juggle 10 things at once, of course you're going to drop it. You're going to drop something, if not all of it, and make a big old mess. So try to balance between the two things only, because realistically speaking, your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. But we often tend to glamorize multitasking and being busy to the extent that everybody's trying to do everything at once. And that may work for some people, but I know that it doesn't work for me. It may not work for you. You are you. You know what works for you, or hopefully you do. And if you don't, then maybe it's time to figure it out, to look at what is working for you and what is not working for you, and what you can change, what is in your control that you can change. And trust me, there's a lot more in your control than you realize. You may feel like everything is out of your hands, but it's not. You have free will, you have unlimited access to choice in which direction you want to go. That may It may not always be easy to make a choice that helps bring us balance and stability. It can often be the more difficult path because we have to go against what other people want, or we have to take a leap of faith. But in the long run, if you follow your intuition, you will be supported, you will find stability, and there will be this abundance for you. So, what to embrace is the Five of Pentacles. So, if you're feeling like you don't have enough, well, you know, it's interesting because in the embrace position, I could translate this literally and say, if embrace not having enough. But what I'm really feeling from this is be thankful for what you do have. So instead of falling into that old mind rut of, I don't have enough, there's never going to be enough, I don't know how to change my situation, I don't know what to do. Um, it's more so about being thankful for what you do have, even if it is just a little bit, even if it is just one thing. I'm sure you can find at least one thing that you're grateful for in your life. And it doesn't have to be anything special, it can just be something that you're grateful for. Like, I'm grateful for a soft bed to sleep on every night, or I'm grateful that I have food to eat. So, it doesn't have to be big, but it has to be something that you're truly grateful for. And you may not have even realized it until, I'm asking you to do this. But it's a really beneficial practice to get up in the morning every day and list things that you're grateful for. Even if in the moment you're still feeling that fear or that lack, or like, oh my God, but I don't have this though. Well, just keep doing that, make it a habit, and it trains your brain to be grateful. And when that starts becoming the, like the autopilot that you're on, then you start attracting opportunities and abundance and wealth in many different forms. So embrace what it is that you do have. Even though you may feel like you don't have a lot, embrace what you do have. And you guys, you probably have more than you think. Because as Virgos, and I don't want to generalize because everybody's different and your situations are all different, but Virgos tend to be very good with money, or at least they're very business minded or oriented, and they like to do the physical work to, keep everything in order. So you actually probably have more than you think. You actually probably have more than enough. It's in your own head that you feel like you don't. I've gone through that in my life before. I remember I had a big amount of savings, and for some reason, I was just still in this state of fear that I just didn't have enough. I was always scared that I wasn't going to have enough, but it was just in my head because physically I did have enough. I had way more than enough. And I've been in other points of my life where I had absolutely nothing. And I was just like, well, it's fine. It is what it is. It'll all come back to me. So it really just depends on your mindset. That's where that 8 of Swords is the theme of this month, and the key goal being about finding stability. So it really is about, assessing in your head if you're overthinking it, if you're allowing your fears to get away from you and blow up into something that they're clearly not. Where to find support, you have the Ace of Swords. So, again, this is what I was talking about with messages coming through. Be open, keep an open and clear mind, because there will be information, messages, or opportunities that will come to you in the month of November. These can be small or they can be really big. They can be a little bright idea or they can be a huge epiphany and a whole new understanding of how you've been looking at things in your life, especially as it relates to finances. So, again, if you shift your perspective, which is that Ace of Swords, it's a gift from the universe that's coming in to give you this new perspective. If you shift your perspective into one that is balanced and is very in tune with your intuition, oh man, you guys are going to realize that you've got it made. You've got it made. So the advice and encouragement from Spirit is the Knight of Swords. And again, this is a lot of messages coming in. There's a lot of mental information that's going to give you this higher perspective that you weren't previously aware of. So be open your mind, expand your mind. You guys are good at that. You're very good at seeing both sides. And now it's not just about the both sides, it's also about the upper perspective. So you've got this perspective, you've got this perspective. Now you're going to be getting this perspective. So you guys have a lot of blessings coming in the way of your mind, your thoughts, and messages that are given to you. So again, be open to how these come in. You really never know where the messages are going to come from, but you just have to remain open to them. Be a detective. Always, have your magnifying glass out looking for clues because there will always be clues given, especially if you ask. If you don't ask and you're not looking, then of course you're just going to blunder through life seemingly erratically and blindfolded. But if you ask for clues and then you look for clues and then you interpret them accurately, well, bam, you got it made, Libras. You guys have nothing to worry about. You've got more than enough, and everything's really going to come together to unfold in this stability and balance, which you guys are so gifted at when you stand in your power. So take back your power, because that's really another theme here, is taking back your power. Now let's get some relationship cards for you guys. Wow, that's 2 right off the bat, and 1 more. Okay, so they're jumpy. They were all very ready to come out. Okay, so the first card is heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So, well, let's see what the rest of them are. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So it's when I see this card, I don't think of the other person being deceptive. I see this as you deceiving yourself or wearing a mask for maybe protection. Like you're putting up a front, putting up a facade so that nobody really sees the real you and you can't get hurt. And that's where this heart-to-heart conversations come in. There's such a powerful strength in vulnerability, and it's so often overlooked and undervalued in the society that we live in. And so we walk around with our masks on constantly, and it really doesn't serve us at all. It really doesn't promote healthy connections between people. If we all went out there and we were our true authentic selves, like children, children, they go up to other kids in the playground and they're exactly who they are. They don't even try to think of being anybody else. They're just like, hey, I'm so and so, want to play? And over the years, over the course of our relationships and friendships and school and all of these different experiences that we've had, we learn to hide ourselves because perhaps we were not accepted the way that we hoped that we would be, or we were rejected, or we were teased, or we were broken up with, or whatever. So we learn these habits, but they're not good habits. They're not healthy habits, and they're not authentic to the soul at all. And when you make choices that are out of alignment with your soul, that's when you get all these blockages and restrictions that you see with the Eight of Swords. So there's a theme here, right? You're trapping yourself. This is self-deception. This is what it is. It's not anybody else deceiving you. It's you deceiving you. So maybe it's time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. And your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So if I look at this completely just with these three cards, not with any of the other cards, I really see this as if you're in a relationship or you're in like a potential relationship, or if you're single, whatever it is, it's really important to, again, wear your heart on your sleeve. Don't deceive yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't rationalize things that you know aren't true, or don't believe something that you've been taught to believe. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. So again, this can stem to religious factors. This can be, maybe you were taught a set of beliefs that you are inherently sinful, or that you're bad, or whatever, or that you can't be who you truly want to be. That's not true. That is a subjective truth for some, but that's not objectively true, because it's just not. So your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and your spiritual path. So this could also be about this is part of your spiritual path, to take off the mask, to be open and vulnerable, to honestly discuss your feelings with other people, and to be open and authentic in all your relationships, because this is how you're going to create that stability. This is how you create trust. This is how you create true connections and love. That's where that balance comes in. So maybe it's time for you to look at yourself with a discerning eye. This month could be good. It's Scorpio season, so it's good for some deep, deep core healing. It's good to dive really deep right now. And then once you do that, you cut out some of the stuff that's not working for you. You take off the mask, and then boom, you've got messages and clarity coming in like no other. So you guys have a really good opportunity this month, should you choose to accept it and look within. Look at yourself in the mirror. Okay? So that is your reading for the month of November, Libra. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Really hope that you gained something from this. If not, then go and check. Like, if you didn't resonate with it, I always recommend checking your moon and rising signs as well, if this is your sun sign, or you know what I mean. Just check all three of them. So for example, I'm a Pisces sun, Aquarius moon, Gemini rising. So I would check Pisces, Aquarius, and Gemini. That way I can get a good idea of what's going on overall in the energy, and sometimes I resonate more with my moon sign or with my rising. So check that out as well. Also, if you guys did resonate with this and you did like it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to see more videos from me, hit the bell notification so that you can see when I post videos. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, a personal reading to go much more in depth, or if you are in need of some spiritual energetic healing, I can assist you with that as well. So all of my services and offerings can be found in the description box below with the current pricing. Just hit the show more button underneath this video, and there's a drop down list of everything that I offer for you guys. Please just email me with what you would like to order or book, and we can get that going for you. I highly recommend the Reiki sessions. They are extremely transformative and deeply, deeply healing. So, and enlightening. They give you a lot of information about your soul. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We will see you next month. Bye.